Hello my fellow miner. Today we're going to do it a bit differently. We're going to do it without humor. I have grown up, I am an adult, and I will put my lame humor aside. I have over 10,000 subscribers now and have entered the big league. Anyway, today we'll look at ALEPHIUM. It is based on blockchain version 3.0, and since they use decimals you would think there would be a version 3.1, but I doubt. Just like Web 3.0 and Web 2.0 and so forth. Anyway, what makes it so fantastic? Well, it is based on block flow. Yes, a flow of blocks. That is exactly what we like. We like those blocks and we want them to flow. So that is a good thing. But is it the best, you ask me? No, that is actually not the best. The best is proof of less work. Yes, you heard that correctly. Just imagine you go to work, you're only there half a day and then you decide to go home. Your boss catches you on the way out and say, hey, where are you going? And you tell him, I am going home. He tells you you have only been there half a day and you answer, I know, this is proof of less work. He's like, you are brilliant. I will reward you with some digital tokens. Here you go, well done. I must admit I have fallen in love with the concept and I will need to try it out at work myself. Now if you want to try it out online first, before in real life, then I suggest you get the wallet here. On the main page, it is quite easy. You go to the main page, I'll drop a link in the description and you click get wallet. That will redirect you to a GitHub page where you just download the exe file for Windows. Creating the wallet is the usual with 24 words you have to write down on a piece of paper and then you'll end up with something like this. And that is where you'll get your address. Your wallet address, not your home address. If you don't know where you live, then that is not really something I can help you with. If you are using Windows, then you need to download the latest version of BzMiner. I will drop a link in the description. If you are using HiveOS, then we simply need to create a flight sheet for you, like this. Now would be a very good time for you to pause and create your flight sheet. As you can see here, we are using METAPool and not Polywolly or WollyPoly or whatever it is called. Now, before you with a PhD in forensic psychology accuses me of taking a bribe to promote METAPool, no, I haven't actually earned anything. I just like the poll. Back to school with you. And by the way, my RTX 3070 Ti from Zotac Gaming still sucks. Sorry, I forgot that I was supposed to be an adult. If you have a lot of hashing power, like plus 20 gigahash, then you can also create your own node and mine against that. Of course, that may not make much sense after I've released this video, as it will completely kill profits. Just like Tauntcoin. I am the destroyer of profits. Aha, take that you foul prophet, I slay thee. I actually added a lot of new cards to this testing rig, but since Ethereum, for short ALPH, is not actually using memory, they don't make any sense. But I still have them included. If you want to check my rig video out, go to the link in the description. And now, most likely the most adult part in the entire video, the graphic card introduction. Quickly moving on like a ninja, we're going to have a look at the RTX 3060 LHR version 2 from Zotac Gaming. It has been working perfectly, in very good quality to be honest. The RTX 3060 Ti from Asus, their TUF series. No, that is actually the wrong picture. There, now we have the right one. The graphic card comes with 2 balls of steel in each fan. Military grade. Yes, a piano was dropped on my head as a kid, so I am legally excused. Then we have the RTX 3070 iChill 4X from Inno3D. It's actually surprisingly good. The quality is top notch. I have not changed anything. It's super cool actually. And then of course it comes with lots of RGBs that you cannot turn off via the software because the software part sucks. But it doesn't matter because more RGBs, more mega hash. Up next we have the RTX 3070 Ti from Zotac Gaming, also known as the DIY 3070 Ti because it drops thermal padding and comes with screws that have fallen out. I actually expected the quality to be on par with their RTX 3060. Oh boy, was I wrong. What a pile of poop. And then we have the RTX 3080 LHR from Gigabyte, Vision Overclock Revision 2. It's actually quite good looking, but I wish you could get it in black brushed metal instead, even though it doesn't really matter because it's part of my mining rig and I never see it. And now it's time for the last card, the RTX 3080 Ti from Inno3D iChill X4. Yes, I'm very well aware that it looks exactly like their RTX 3070 edition. It is. Actually, the pictures are also exactly the same, so I had to take the one with the box. I said their graphic card is good quality, not their software, and definitely not their homepage. That is a very good example of what happens when you take a backend software developer and put him or her to make a homepage. If you haven't subscribed, Uncle Donkey would very much like you to hit subscribe and afterwards that bell notification. Yes, the bell, so you can get spammed even while you sit on the toilet. I mean, who doesn't want to get a random notification at random times around the clock? It is very nice. So remember to hit the bell notification and you will get unwanted messages all the time. It's time to have a look at the overclock settings for the RTX 3060 LHR version 2. Set the core clock to 210 and the memory clock to -200 and the power limit to 100. When the miner is running, simply click run command in HiveOS and run the NVIDIA SMI command as seen on the screen. If you are using Windows, then simply create a batch file based upon what you see here and set your core clock to 210 and fan speed to 90%. Now it's time to have a look at the overclock settings for the RTX 3060 Ti. Set the core clock to 210, memory clock to -2000 and the power limit to 125. Then when the miner is running, run the NVIDIA SMI command as seen here. If you are using Windows, create a batch file based upon what you see here and set the core clock to 210 and fan speed to 90%. Now let's have a look at the overclock settings for the RTX 3070. If you are using HiveOS, set the core clock to 210, the memory clock to -2000 and the power limit to 135. Run the NVIDIA SMI command via run command when the miner is running. If you are using Windows, set the core clock to 210 and the fan speed to 90% in MSI Afterburner and then create a batch based upon what you see here. Now let's have a look at the overclock settings for the RTX 3070 Ti. Set the core clock to 210, the memory clock to -2000 and the power limit to 140 in HiveOS. Then run the NVIDIA SMI command as seen here when the miner is running. If you are using Windows, set the core clock to 210 and fan speed to 90% via MSI Afterburner and then create a batch file based upon what you see here. Now let's have a look at the overclock settings for the RTX 3080. In HiveOS, set the core clock to 210, memory clock to -2000 and the power limit to 230. When the miner is running, run the NVIDIA SMI command via run command as seen here. In Windows, set the core clock to 210 and fan speed to 90% in MSI Afterburner and then create a batch file based upon what you see here. Now let's have a look at the overclock settings for the RTX 3080 Ti. In HiveOS, set the core clock to 210, the memory clock to -2000 and the power limit to 255. Use run command to execute the NVIDIA SMI command when the miner is running. In Windows, set the core clock to 210 and the fan speed to 90% and then create a batch file based upon what you see here. Now it's time to have a look at the average reported results, including profits. First up is the RTX 3060. 934 MHz per second at 99 watts, which gives an efficiency of 9.43. You'll earn $2.22 per day. Now it's time for the RTX 3060 Ti. Military grade with 2 bolts of steel. 1.22 GHz per second at 124 watts with an efficiency rating of 9.84. You'll earn $2.90 per day. Now it's time for the RTX 3070. 1.46 GHz per second at 134 watts, which gives an efficiency of 10.9. You will earn $3.47 per day. Now it's time for the RTX 3070 Ti. 1.51 GHz per second at 139 watts, which gives an efficiency of 10.86. You will earn $3.59 per day. Now it's time to have a look at the RTX 3080. 20.22 GHz per second at 225 watts, which gives an efficiency of 9.87. You will earn $5.28 per day. Now it's time for the last card, the RTX 3080 Ti. 2.6 GHz per second at 252 watts, which gives an efficiency of 10.32. You will earn $6.18 per day. All the profits here are based upon the last 24 hours, and they will of course change to around 100 times before I manage to release this video. You can easily change the core clock upwards, but I highly recommend that you look at the rejected shares, because you will get a lot. So the way to overclock it would be to change the core clock upwards and then let it run for half an hour and see if your still shares have exploded. If they have, then clock it down again. As you have most likely already noticed, I have 3 RTX 3070s in the rig, and they are all clocked differently. I can clock 2 of them higher than 210, however the card I always use for testing will only do 210 without creating a lot of rejected shares. This cryptocurrency can get your cores quite hot. Luckily it won't affect your memory at all, but your cores can get quite hot, so I recommend that you run a fan speed of minimum 80%. I run all mine at 90% for now until I get a better feel of the cryptocurrency. Exchange is actually super easy. There is only one choice, gate.io. I'll drop a referral link in the description where you can get a discount of 30% if you use it for every transaction. Please note that I myself will get a commission of 10% that will allow me to buy a teddy bear in a couple of years. If there are any other aspects of ALEPHIUM that you want me to cover, then please write it in the comments. If you have any wishes for other cryptocurrencies, then also please write them in the comments and I will have a look at them. Obviously, if you want to write that I am a tart and a destroyer of profits, then feel free and go ahead. Obviously, both are true. Now for the boring part. I would very much like that you click subscribe and like the video and share it with your grandma. Thank you very much. I really hope you enjoyed the new humorless mature style that shows that I am an adult. It really requires a lot of effort to fake it. And that is all for this time. I will see you in the next video. Have a lovely weekend. And if it's not weekend when you see this video, then have a lovely week.